If you have an important exam, business meeting, sales presentation coming up where you need to succeed to break through to the next level in your independent journey, watch this video entirely. I'm going to give you a quick tactic that allowed me to get straight A's at UC Berkeley studying computer science and engineering, and also build a $10,000 per month business at 19. So, this one skill has absolutely transformed my life, and it's called envisioning. And I'm going to share with you how to properly use your imagination to unlock your true potential with envisioning. Now, you probably have heard a lot about successful people visualizing, but we're not going to go into like the surface level of visualization. We're not going to go over woohoo, voodoo affirmations and stuff like that. We're going to go into the deep science that I had to learn. I took a gap semester actually from school to learn these things to make progress in my business. And then I applied them when I came back to school to get straight A's. I used to be a B plus, type of student, A minuses here and there as well. And then I would also be the guy that would just laze around a lot. I was super lazy. Even to this day, I consider myself not to be the hardest worker. I'm still lazy here and there, but I'm able to use my imagination selectively to get the outcomes I want, to be the type of person I want to be, to upgrade my self image. So it makes it effortless to make progress. And if that's something that would help you right now, if you suffer from low confidence, anxiety, fear, you're nervous before your next performance you have, and you know it, this mental tactic that I'm going to give you called envisioning is going to change the game. So let's get into it. What is envisioning? Envisioning is a multi-sensory experience that you put yourself in every single day, ideally at night before you go to bed, that allows you to visualize your next up and coming performance or skill you need to get better at in vivid detail to the point where it triggers and fools your exact nervous system that is activated in the actual performance itself in reality. So that was a lot, but let me go into it in more detail. And I promise you, if you watch this entirely and you make this a habit, the way you approach life is going to change. The pace that you make progress, the pace that you make breakthroughs and behavior changes is going to be unbelievable. People are going to think you're cracked, and it's the sauce, bro. So, what do I mean by this? And we're going to walk through an actual envisioning exercise in this video for your next breakthrough that's going to allow you to prime your brain. But let me just explain it so you understand how it works. Let's say you have an exam, right? Let's just make that as an example for a breakthrough experience, and you want to succeed in. You have a midterm for, let's say, a artificial intelligence course you're taking in college, and you need to do well on it. And you've studied a good amount, but you have lack confidence. You're worried. What if what I know doesn't come up on the exam? What if I'm not prepared? What if I'm nervous? What if I'm shy? What if I don't get that problem? What if I do bad on this midterm? I'm not going to get an A in the class. Hold up. We're going to properly envision it right now. What you would do is leading up to that exam, maybe a week before, you would do a combination of envisioning the actual performance of the exam and also the preparation for it. So what would that look like? You have your exam, well, one week before that, you would literally go into vivid detail of you walking into your exam room, sitting down, and this is all in first person. Imagine if you're looking at it through a GoPro. So you would close your eyes, you would envision yourself walking into the exam, sitting down, feeling the texture of the desk. What color is it? Taking out your pencil. What color is your pencil? Taking out your student ID. You would visualize that exact process as well as what clothes you're wearing. How does it feel on you? And again, I'll explain why this works, but let me first tell you the sauce up front. And then you would visualize yourself getting the exam paper from the person to the right of you when they were passing out the exams, sitting down, opening it, seeing that first problem, and absolutely crushing it, getting it right away. You don't need to know exactly what that problem is, but you just visualize yourself with your pen and paper first, going through that in rhythm, in the right pace to finish the exam on time, answering everything correctly. And then you also, well, I'll talk into how you want to think about obstacles during the exam as well and how to visualize those things. But again, envisioning is that multi-sensory skill that allows you to visualize the thing with full detail and you're in full control. This is like a mental reality. It's your imagination where you have, remember when you were a kid, bro, and you would visualize yourself being Spider-Man or Batman, or and you close your eyes and you dream and you're like doing all the things these superheroes do. It's the same thing, but you're applying it to your own life now. And the truth is, all successful athletes, entrepreneurs do this. They just don't tell you about it because they pay thousands of dollars to coaches and mentors. I learned this from this book called The Confident Mind, and I'm teaching it to you in this video. You need to create this habit of 5 to 10 minutes before you go to bed, visualizing your next day, your study sessions, your work performances, and also your next big breakthrough. So if you're running a business and you have a sales call coming up, or you're doing a content channel like this, I visualize how I'm speaking to my ideal target avatar on this video. You actually, screw target avatar. I'm just speaking to you, bro. I visualize myself saying the right things to persuade you to make a behavior change, to make faster progress towards your goals. I did this when I built my first business at $10,000 per month when I had no experience. I was selling Facebook advertising to medical spas. I had no idea what medical spas even sold when I started, but it was basically Botox. And the reason I chose that is for a story another day. But I would visualize myself sending emails that would get calls booked, and I would visualize myself in detail hopping on that call, seeing the name on the Zoom meeting, hearing the business owner's voice, making an imagination out of my head in vivid detail. How would I sound? What would I say? What's the first thing I would say? And you don't want to make the visualization too long. Science shows that you can actually do this envisioning process for maximum 20 minutes. I recommend you just do this for 1 minute, and we're going to do it in this video. But the keys to a proper visualization, the keys to envisioning properly your next breakthrough, your next desired outcome is number one, what is the next desired outcome you want? What's the next accomplishment at your current experience level, your current journey? What's their next breakthrough? Is it you want a $10,000 a month? Is it you want your first sale? Is it you want to upload your first YouTube video? Is it you want to get an A this semester and then work backwards? Is it you want to do well on the first week of class? Is it you want to do well on your next midterm? First, pick the next accomplishment or outcome that excites you. What gives you goosebumps, right? For me, it's actually succeeding in this robotics class I'm taking right now. That's a big goal for me right now. Okay. So now that we have our desired outcome, what is the actual outcome, though, tangible thing? For that, we have a quiz coming up that if you don't do well on it, they kick you out of the class, they drop you out of the class. And I'm confident I'm going to do well, but I'm going to use this envisioning tactic to make sure I show up with certainty, that I show up with full preparedness, and I actually use this tactic to feel more prepared when I enter the thing. And it's how you actually make faster progress and unlock your true potential. So I have that thing for me, right? You have the thing for you now. That's step one. What's the actual tangible desired outcome you want? Can you say it? Can you see yourself doing it? Now, if you can't, we're gonna get into how to see it. So first, I need you to prime your visualization muscles. We're gonna do this with an exercise. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine sitting at your family dining table when you were a kid, or even recent. Just think of some dining table that is home for you, your home dining table where your family currently lives. Okay, if you're in college, still just visualize your family's home dining table where your parents live, right? And I want you to visualize you're there with no one around you, sitting at the dining table chair. What does it feel like? Is it made out of leather? Is it made out of cloth? What color is it? Feel it, touch it. And then I want you to see a lemon on your dining table. And I want you to pick up the lemon. What does it feel like? Bring it to your nose. Smell it. Pause and and actually feel the experience. Feel the texture of the skin of the lemon. What does it smell like? Now I want you to see a knife on the table. What color is the knife? Does it have a wooden handle? Is it metal handle? How long is the knife? What type of sharpness or edge does it have? Okay, and I want you to pick it up, and I want you to cut the lemon in half and hear the sound of the lemon squishing as you cut it. And then I want you to feel the lemon juice sticking to your hand and you smelling the lemon, sourness. And I want you now to take that lemon, and you're smelling it, how sour it is. You feel the little stickiness on your hands. And I want you to bring it up to your nose and then smell the lemon. And then now, finally, I want you to take a big bite of the lemon. Oh, it's so sour. You take a bite, you taste the sourness in your mouth, and you can smell the sourness as well. You can feel the texture of the hard lemon peel, and your hands are still sticky. Now wake up. All right, we just practiced your visualization muscles. What happened? I guarantee when we did that, your mouth actually started salivating. You had some liquid in your mouth. It was almost as if you were actually eating a lemon if you did this properly. Because the truth is, this is the biggest takeaway from this video. Your brain, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a physical repetition and a mental repetition if it involves all your sensory details. Because the reason why real life feels like real life is because we're experiencing it with all our details, our sight, our eyes, yeah, same thing, our ears, our nose, what we're smelling, what we're feeling, what colors things are. And if we apply the same thing though in our imagination, your nervous system doesn't know the difference, so your body reacts the same way. That is a huge, huge deal, bro. We can literally impact our physical body, and there's science that shows this by just picturing things in the proper way of how we experience reality, which is a multi-sensory experience. But right now, when you usually picture your future, your past, you don't go into this detail. You don't go into this level of control as well. What we had in that experiment, we had control over the lemon and picking it up. When you have these this knowledge, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually envision your next successful performance. So now let's go to my exam. I have an exam in robotics coming up, right? I'm going to visualize myself actually showing up to the exam in full things. What am I wearing? What am I feeling? How does the clothes feel on me? What station am I at? And in fact, a trick I used to do actually in previous semesters, I would go to the exam room before the exam, like 2 days before, just to scope it out. And I would feel the things and everything. And that level of preparedness puts you in a whole different state, bro. I think you're taking for granted like how just having your success visualized entirely makes you so prepared and confident to the point where you have such belief and certainty that you succeed. And you need to find the ways to do it for your next performance. If you're in business, it's like going on Zoom and doing a role play, or having that mental image of a role play before your sales call, right? And then more importantly, actually visualizing that sales call. So let me give you an example of sales call. I would visualize seeing the my business owner prospect's name that I'm going to sell to and have a conversation with. I would visualize her voice. I would visualize my mic, holding my mic, feeling it. I would visualize myself in full control, saying the right things. Hey, how's it going, Sarah? How's your day? You have a good week? Awesome. Yeah, I did this week. Awesome. Let's get into it. So this is our first part. This is what we're gonna go over. This is how we get our med spas more customers. And I'm gonna show you the exact 3-step process we use. Does that sound clear? Awesome. And then I would go into it and I would visualize myself doing this before the call though and handling everything well and even the objections. I would think of the biggest parts of the call. I wouldn't visualize the whole entire call because that's like an hour and a half call sometimes. I would visualize just the 3 biggest moments in the call: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then middle, mainly like the objections. And I would visualize myself, her saying, "Oh, it's kind of expensive. Oh, I don't know if this will work for us. Oh, do you have any testimonials?" I would visualize those things. And even if I didn't have testimonials, I came up with objection handles that would convince them and persuade them to keep going with me and actually onboard with me. And I would visualize myself sending the invoice and getting the $2,000 per month retainer. And then I would apply the same thing to fulfilling the service for them and getting them, and I ended up getting them a 60x return on investment. That's what I would get for my clients. They would give me $1,000 in ad spend for a month, and I would make them 60,000 that month repeatedly every month and month and month and book them out well in advance. This works for everything, bro. It's such a cheat code. Start visualizing and envisioning your next breakthrough, your skills. You can even do this for your day to the minute level. Before you go to bed, visualize your morning going well. Visualize yourself in vivid detail, refusing to check the phone. And this is a big thing. When you visualize and something goes wrong in your visualization, because that will happen, because if you're new to this, you're going to visualize yourself messing up. I want you to yell, cut, like you're a movie director. Cut. This whole envisioning, you're like a movie director because I want you to have full control that you can make it all perfectly. When you watch a movie, you don't see a scene that they've messed up on. No, they'll redo it so you see the right version that the director and producer wants you to see. It's the same thing. You're the director and producer and you're the actor in this. And if we can repeatedly get these mental reps of you doing the thing successfully, you will become so prepared. You will play with such certainty and confidence, and that's usually the last step to actually having a breakthrough performance because you have enough skill, bro. If you're someone watching this video, you study 1 to 5 hours a day in your field. You put in the work. You watch content like this. Hopefully, if you're not, that's also a bottleneck. We cover how to actually focus again and do deep work on this channel. But after that, it's all about confidence, bro. Can you show up with utter belief and a feeling of unconscious certainty you can do the thing well? If not, this is the trick. You need to start envisioning your processes in vivid detail. You can't just visualize yourself like with the gold medal at the end. No, you need to visualize that and the obstacles and how you're going to overcome them, how you're going to enter the scene in vivid detail, because when you can see it, you can achieve it. Once you see it, you will be able to believe it and then you can achieve it. Anything in life. If you don't think you can achieve anything, it's because you cannot see it and therefore you cannot believe it. But if you were able to see exactly how it would work, and that's the thing, you may not be able to see the big thing yet. So break the desired outcome down even smaller. So instead of getting the gold medal, think about having a first productive practice session. You can visualize that. You can see yourself. Or if you can't even do that, visualize yourself getting a coach. You can do that, going on the internet, researching different coaches. You break it down until you can actually vividly envision it, and then envision it, envision it, envision it. And this is the continuous process as you keep leveling up in your journey. Your new imaginations and or your new outcomes become bigger and bigger, and your imagination for those things become clearer and crisper and more controlled. And that's how you continuously achieve breakthroughs. If you want the full system on how to build confidence, this is just one technique on using the future, envisioning the future. You can actually do techniques and using the present and the past to even further build my confidence. It's how I was able to build a business to 10K per month at 19 and get straight A's. This was one technique. If you want the full system, click the link below to conquer your goals. My name's Mana and I can't wait to see you win, my guy. Peace out.